but I'm doing good. No complaints.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we are live. Welcome back to Vinny's Corner, guys. I'm your host, Vinny. My co-host in the corner over there, 7 times gold, 3 times silver. Cove is what his name is today. Um, so we are here. We pushed it back a day. Right. We normally do a Wednesday night show. So thanks for guys for showing up. We got Brian with us tonight. We got Caleb. We got Showtime. And the reason that Cove obviously has this ode to the Olympics in his name is obviously because, and the reason why we waited till Thursday was because we wanted to wait until the Canada US gold medal match was complete for the women's hockey. And the men's and the men's hockey, the Canadians and the Americans both qualified for the semifinals yesterday as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to kind of start from that side of things. So welcome everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in and for joining us tonight. And Cove, I'm just going to turn it over to you. You are the hockey guy, so take it away, my friend.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about that game first because the other games are tomorrow. So after Megan Keller's OT winner capped an all-time classic against Canada in Milan today, does this victory shift the long U.S.-Canada rivalry narrative moving forward?
Mm-hmm.
Brian, what do you think?
I'll say yes because Canada's always owned the U.S. when it comes to women's hockey, and now the U.S. women are finally starting to get up there, and they've beaten Canada the past 2-3 times for the gold medal. So now you're starting to get a more even playing field between the U.S. and Canada. And
Interesting. Okay. And so now I guess Cove, what's your thought on it? I mean, it's your question, but I'm gonna just ask everybody else because I don't know.
I mean, to be fair on it, for me, it's like it was great. Canada, yes, to correct you on it, was twice before. This is the third time they've met in the finals. They've met in the semifinals, quarterfinals, other
Mhm.
times, but this is the third time they met in the finals.
And so
And
this is
Canada,
also this is the third US gold medal ever for
yeah,
the women. Yeah,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, sure.
Canada has how many all time for the female?
seven.
7. Oh, okay. So this is 7 gold. That's what this is. The
Yeah,
women's. Understood. Okay.
yeah,
Now I'm clear on what's going on there.
yeah.
And so what is the Americans? We have 3 gold and how many silver?
3 gold and 2 silver, I believe. I believe so because you lost Canada twice in the finals.
Well, so
So,
the interesting thing, and I'm assuming it translates in women's hockey as well. You guys can certainly correct me on this, but like if we were to look at right, everyone talks about the right now, and this is just because of what's going on in the world, but everyone talks about U.S. and Canada hockey, U.S. and Canada hockey. If you were to look historically at the medal winners who dominate in hockey, it is overwhelmingly Russia. Like Russia
Mm-hmm.
has a lot of gold medals in the hockey space. Um, now, okay, so I guess here's what my question is to everybody. Does does not having them there, does it like are we really seeing the best every time, or like is it hard to say now when you're missing like I know the men's Russia roster would be like ridiculous, right? One of the best in hockey automatically. Is it the same for women's hockey?
I don't believe so. It's always been Russia, Canada, as long as I ever remember it. I never really seen Russia being dominant per se in there because I'm looking at now. Uh, no medal in '98, no medal in 2002, not in 2006, not in 2010, not in 2014, not in 2018. Not in 22. So the Russians have never won a medal as a female hockey team
Interesting. So they're only so they're very strong in male
on the
hockey, but
male
not
side. Yeah, on the
yeah.
male
So
Yeah.
side.
they're competitive.
Women's. The women's,
Canada
they've never. I don't know if they've ever competed, but they've never. I'm looking at this as they've never won a medal for women's hockey.
Okay. So,
Yeah, I don't think they have a women's hockey team in Russia, because I don't ever remember them competing. I could be wrong, but it's always been like U.S., Canada, that's so Sweden, Finland, and then like Swiss and like two or three other countries. I don't remember where
It's
the hell they
Canada,
get them.
Canada, U.S., Sweden, and Finland are basically the only women teams that ever win medals,
so
except for
is Russia like?
Switzerland today. Switzerland finally won one, so
Is it
they won
like
five.
Is it like a cultural thing?
I don't think it's a cultural thing. I just think it's willingness to play the sport. Because when we talk about these other teams like Japan, Italy, and stuff like that, they don't really have hockey as a culture. Hockey, Russia always has a culture of it. Finland does. Sweden does. Like that's why the Four Nation Cup was basically, what it was: U.S., Canada, Sweden, and Finland, because they outside of Russia, they were the prominent hockey cultures.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I'm trying to see if I can see now in the men's side, the ROC have medaled the last two. They weren't Team Russia, but they were the ROC, and they won a gold in 2018, and they won in 2022. They won silver in the men's.
Okay.
Yes, recently. So, but I'm trying to see if there's any Russia. Russia's got one bronze, one silver, and I don't see a gold yet. Oh, Soviet Union has 7. The Soviets have 7 golds.
Yeah. So like before it was just Russia when like old school. Yeah, they used to crop.
Yeah, but as Russia, they've never medaled. They've either ROC has medaled and the Soviet Union has medaled.
Kind of weird. Kind of interesting though.
They play well. They but they get knocked out in the playoffs against somebody like Sweden or Finland or whatever.
Okay.
So, I mean, let's go old school. 98 Russia team was amazing because you had Fedorov, the Berets on there. You had so many known guys we all grew up watching on that 98 team.
Yeah.
And then in tier 2, they again were amazing.
So my favorite video game of all time is NHL 98 for PlayStation 1. And you can use the world teams in that game, and Russia was amazing. Actually, as a random aside.
So to go with that, the same thing with U.S. winning today. So with Hilary Knight tying the Olympic scoring record and Ariane Frankel posting shutouts, goaltending performances all tournaments, what role did veteran leadership play in this gold run for USA? Was it their veterans or was there goaltending?
What do you think, Caleb?
What?
Was it the veteran leadership on the ice, or was it the dominant goaltending, or a little of both?
I'm thinking what veteran.
Okay, that's fair. What about you, Showtime? What do you think?
Probably a little bit of both, honestly, because it was like low scoring and like went into overtime. So like it's just better.
Yeah, she only gave up 2 goals all tournament.
Exactly.
Weren't there a lot of younger players on the U.S. team, or am I mistaken?
No, I think it's for no. I looked at the stat earlier. Their average was like 25.2 to 25.4. They're pretty much the exact same age of a team.
Okay, so that's not. Yeah, that's pretty average.
Yeah.
Well, so like
you're not going to get veterans like in the male side version. You're not going to get your 38-year-olds.
I'll tell you what. What surprised me at least. And the game played exactly like not exactly like in my head. I did not like, oh, they're going to win in the last second. Nothing like that. But like, I knew it was going to be a very close game. when I looked at the betting lines, like the day before, it was like Canada was like plus 400. And I was like, no, this is not going to be a butt kicking. Like, I have no idea what they're talking about. You know, like, because, like, you know, a lot of the women's hockey games, they'll be like baseball scores. It'll be like 8-1, 9-1. You know, like they run up scores a lot more, I think, in women's hockey than men's. But I wasn't expecting that in a U.S. Canada match. I was expecting it to be much closer to, like, I thought the betting lines would be almost even.
Well, no, because when I looked at the stats of them losing, they basically both won. Every game was won by one goal.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's why I was so surprised that they had it like so the puck line was like maybe minus 1.5. But the money line,
I think it's because the 5-0 win, they won 5-0 on every game, so they were expected to score high.
Yeah, I was a little shocked that Canada was such a heavy underdog. That's all.
Yeah. It's because the shutout. That's what really killed them. If it was a closer game, it would have been a lot different.
Their one loss was a shutout, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Makes sense.
And since it was U.S., that drove their separation quite a bit. Because they expected U.S. to walk all over them. Weren't expecting it. I don't think they were expecting a 2-1 victory from either team.
Okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, given Team USA's defensive discipline and clutch scoring, including late regulation tying goal, was the U.S. team one of the best women's you've ever seen?
I think yes.
So I don't know if you guys saw what I said in the chat earlier. I know Brian did because Brian directly responded to me. And this is actually weird to say because I'm very big on the Olympics, but like it's almost like I had blinders on when I was just younger to female sports in general. Yeah. But like women's hockey wasn't even a thing in my brain. It just literally wasn't even a thing. This was the first real like where I was like, oh my God. And I watched every single game for Team USA and I watched all of Team Canada and I got into it. But so for me, this was the best team I've ever seen because it's the only team I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean
it's a lot different for me because you've heard me talk about the PWHL and it's taken way too long for men to grow up to say women can play hockey and give them their own league. I don't think we should have waited till like 2020s before we got a professional women's hockey league. I think this should have been happened a lot longer. Especially since basketball came out a lot sooner than the hockey did.
So like when I was a kid, if you were to ask me as like a young man, like if women played hockey, I would have been like, no, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like it just wasn't even like a thing in my brain. I don't know. Which is obviously that's kind of
what I mean. It's always been there, but it's been extremely popular ever since the PWHL became a thing. Women's hockey has drove up there, and it's actually quite enjoyable to watch. Like if you can watch NHL, you can watch the PWHL, but there's no checking whatsoever. So like it's very clean. So some might think it's very like dry because there's not a lot of hitting.
Okay, so remember a few months ago there was a crazy clip that was online of a female hockey player doing like she skates in, she like picks the puck up, she does like a whole crazy thing, and she scores a goal, right? And I was like, my goodness, how did but I guess it makes a little more sense that they can get stuff like once in a blue moon. You see a play like that from like a regular hockey player because they're just not in open space like that to do that. But
you're talking about the Abby Miller Minnesota goal, aren't you?
Yeah, but if in women's they're not hitting like that, a goal like that makes more sense.
Yeah,
I didn't know any of this. Okay, cool.
Yeah, maybe the biggest thing you'll see the men try is sometimes if they're behind the net, they'll try and pick the puck up and pick
Yeah.
it up and do the Michigan goal that they call it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly. And like you'll see that like once in a blue moon. This goal, when I saw this, like now that I'm thinking about it, like in retrospect, I'm like, oh, because he was just like wide open, but like they're not lining them up where like in men's hockey, you know what I mean? Like, right?
Oh, yeah.
Canada got on the ice, and the game plan in the last game was like to get rid of Crosby as quick as they could, right? And they just started
Now,
putting that man on the ground.
I think Brian might know who I'm speaking of, but if you want to see anything like that, that's crazy. That's why it's not being pushed in the league. Watch Paddle Barber. Paddle Barber will show you how stupid easy it can be done, and just how ridiculous it would make the league if you just scored like that all the time.
All
Because
right,
Paddle Barber does insane tricks like that, like
all right,
with ease.
all right. I'll look them up.
Can you?
Oh, you don't know
send
who a Paddle? You don't know who a Paddle Barber is? Yeah, he is like.
Yeah, I'll have to find some clips because I just remember back in '96, Mike Legg did that for the University of Michigan against Minnesota, and then
Yeah, no,
and
Paddle
that's where they
Barber
came up
is
with the
one of the
name.
pioneers, like on in YouTube, of doing these insane goals where he like literally does a 360 while still holding the puck and then still scores. Like it's insane how much control this kid has, and ever since they've started doing it in the video games, it's become more popular. You see more kids trying to Michigan. You see more between the leg shots. You see more trick shots now as it becomes more popular.
So, I remember like last year, so Cove was doing a game on his stream on Kick or Twitch or whatever whatever those video game streams are. But like we had a whole thing because like he sent me the video and he was like showing me like doing the Michigan goal. You remember we had a whole thing about this, and he's like, look, you do it. He's like, I could literally do it every time in this video game. He's like, if you could do that in like real life, like it'd be over.
Oh yeah, that's how you rage quit people. If you're playing them, I play every couple of years. I do go to the nationals for NHL and stuff like that. But doing the Michigan makes everybody quit. It's just one of those most hated. They'll either quit because they don't want to be done to them, or they quit because they hate you as a person for doing that all the time. And I'll do it deliberately.
Showtime and Caleb, I should say, you guys are both gamers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do.
Yep.
Do you guys like? And so very specifically, do you guys do either of you play NHL for PlayStation?
I play for GameCube. I used to play for GameCube.
Interesting.
Old school.
So the reason I ask, right? Because like obviously, like we know, especially in America, like football, basketball, baseball are always like the most popular. But like at least in my like, and maybe I'm crazy, but like when I was younger, I thought like the best video games for PlayStation were FIFA. FIFA soccer is always lit, like super awesome game. And then all the NHL games were always amazing. Like the best video games on PlayStation are for sports. NHL games are so good.
The unfortunate part is NHL is, I will say this, I've been playing it since the exception of 1994. That's when EA started doing NHL. But I've been playing since it's been a thing since 1993. So I played every version. I've now 32 years of playing this game. And I'll tell you, it's never changed and it's still crap.
My team, I love that game. I don't care. My team was in that game in the 90s was the Avalanche. Once, like Forsberg, Sakic, Foot.
No. The reason why I say it is because now I play on True Stick, like that. You actually have to do the actual moves. When you saw me doing the Michigan, I actually physically have to do that. But that's what I mean. It's so broken. So the top right was never fixed in hockey on the video games. So if you aim top right, almost 99% of the time you'll always score. No matter how stupid you hit the controller, as long as you hit that top right, you score every time. It's never been fixed in 30 years. So it's been the biggest glitch I've ever seen in a sports game.
All right, so back to the Olympics.
So, how much for the final one for the women's is how much does this gold matter as a redemption arc after the Canada loss in 2022, and what does it mean for the future of women hockey globally, not just U.S. but globally?
Well, so automatically, I think just like a pretty common fact, and I could be wrong, but in what it appears to me, the U.S. invests the most heavily in women's sports out of pretty much any other country
Yep.
in the world. Right? Can we all agree on that?
Yes.
So
Definitely.
the United States winning the top medal in the world in hockey means that they are going to pour more resources into it. Why that's important globally is because a lot, just like in men's hockey, as it becomes a bigger, as women's hockey grows, right? Where do the best hockey players in America? Well, now America's got some of the best hockey players from America, but right, we've always had players coming from Russia, from Canada, from Finland, from all these other countries to play in our league, right? This could potentially just lead to more opportunities for women worldwide because America will invest heavily in women's sports and women's hockey.
Now, the one and the same one, since you're just new to events, and you guys might know or not know, but the Switzerland beating Sweden. This is not the first time. This is the second time.
Same
this has
girl.
happened. Same girl. 14 years apart. Same girl. Same situation. Same game-winning goal.
Dude, they literally won. They won the silver medal again because of
bronze. Bronze.
Oh, the bronze. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys all heard this story?
Yes.
Like, kind of really one of the cooler things, like Showtime. I don't know if you heard this, but it's just one of the cooler stories. Like, literally, the girl started playing for the national team when she was 15.
15 years old. Yeah.
Wow.
And she scored the bronze medal game-winning goal against Team Sweden 14 years ago. And then now in her late 20s, playing for her team again.
27, yeah. 20.
Yeah, playing against the same, three Olympics later, playing against the same country, she scored the game-winning goal for the same bronze medal again. Like, I know everyone in Sweden hates that chick.
Yeah.
Dude.
So moving on to now, we're gonna go with I think the Canada-Finland games first. So we're gonna stick with that one first. So Canada enters the semifinal as one of the top seeds in the men's Olympic bracket. Can they convert their official firepower into goals against Finland's structured defense?
So can they score a lot against Finland? Basically. Can they make
USA?
Is this going to be a high-scoring game against Finland, or is this going to be a low-scoring game against Finland?
What do you think, Brian?
I think it's going to be a low-scoring game because Finland, they're generally good at clogging up the middle of the ice, and generally when you watch a lot of their games, it's always like 2-1, 3-2 type games where you're not going to see a whole bunch of scoring back and forth either way.
Now, I don't know if you've seen it today, like you've seen the Finland game, but I mean, they were down 2-0 to Switzerland. So, I mean, now they're going up against Canada. That's a whole different. That's like going against the United States or Russia at this point. Like, you could barely beat the Switzerland, and you. So I don't know. I picked Finland to win it anyways, but it was just like I don't know. I just don't know if UC Saros can stop this power of Canada, because it's an extremely large roster. Like everybody on it, it's like a top 3 of their position.
Here's the trick. Here's the trick to it. Right. So Finland was able to crawl out of a 2-0 deficit and win 3-2, and they did it all in the third period. That is not going to be a winnable strategy against Canada. You are 100% right on that. What they need to do is they need to stop Canada from, like, Canada is looking to come out and put like 3 goals up in the first period. get a
Yeah.
fast start to it, right? What they need to do is they need to try and bottle up. They need to keep them to like a 1-goal minimum in that first period. If they can do that, they give themselves a chance to win. But if they let Canada open it up early and put up a bunch of points quick, they're not gonna come back from 3-0 or 2-0 on Canada like that. It's not gonna happen. If you let them score 2 or 3 goals in the first period, they're gonna keep scoring. You're not gonna bottle them up like that. Where they were able to do that in the last game, it's not gonna happen against a team like Canada. Too many stars.
And I'm going to say it's the biggest hinge to Finland right now is not having Barkov there.
Mm.
Barkov would make this Finland team way better.
Yes.
I'm not saying they're not good without Barkov, but he's that dog. He's been that dog for Florida in the playoffs. He's that dog when he comes into the Olympics. Like, he's that player. He's going to get into everything, and you're missing that key component in that defense, having Barkov out.
Listen, I fully expect to see like I don't want to jinx it, but like if I don't see the United States against Canada in the final, I'm going to be shocked.
Mhm.
So, with NHL's talent stacked on the Canadian roster in this year, they finally break through and precisely will they finally break through the semifinals? Like, so that's what we've been talking about. Is this team poised to beat Finland? Really?
Guys, what do you think? Showtime?
I would say they
Uh,
probably
It'll
be,
be a close game, I think. Yeah,
it'll
it'll be a close game.
Yeah,
Sorry, Showtime. Say that again.
it'll be a close game, but they win. I think Canada.
Yeah, Canada, close game.
So as it was brought up, like Finland has proven stubborn on defense in previous tournaments. So can Canada avoid that kind of upset result?
I expect it.
You expect it? Like, so.
Here's the thing. It depends. Like in their last game, right? It looked like Binnington might finally be giving it up. And then at the end of the game and going into overtime, he had like 3 key saves that completely just changed the complexion of the game. Like he became lights out at the very end.
Yes.
If the Binnington that Team Canada has completely trusted shows up, Finland's just not going to beat him.
Mm.
They're not. I would be
But
hard.
it's arguably to say that about UC Saros this year. Like, you always hear me about these underdog guys. Like UC Saros, and since he was under Pekka Rain and whatever. Saros has never really flourished, but Saros can be that goalie when he needs to be. He can stand on his head. Like, he proved it today. Like, his team was down 2-0. He needed to shut down and win this game for them, as Saros should, and he did. He did exactly what he was there to do. Like, they didn't switch him out because Luckinen is injured, so they don't have him as a backup. So this is all on Saros. Like, when he has this 2-0 deficit that he's going to come back from. So just like Binnington, Saros is going to do the exact same thing. He's going to show up when it matters.
Is Crosby playing for Canada? Have they given an update
that
on
has
on-
not
on-
been divulged. They are keeping that tight-lipped until probably tomorrow morning. All I know
Last
is
thing they said was that he was getting an MRI,
MRI,
and they have
yes.
not released the result. The MRI thing they said yesterday, but they haven't put out a result, which to me is concerning. I feel like if he was okay, they would have said it.
Oh no, I think they know he's okay. It's like, I think if it was major, they would have released that. But I just don't know if he's a game. I think it's like a game time decision. Like, can he rest this one game to play the finals? So is Crosby going to sit out so that he can rest a day or so before he has to play the finals? Like, so that's what they might do. That's why they might keep it hush hush until the morning and say, Crosby woke up, he's fine. He says he doesn't want to play. He'll play the finals. They'll just skirt it like that. Like they won't say much about it.
Listen, on ESPN, on their Olympic section,
Yeah.
they don't even offer their rosters yet for either team.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's gonna be a first thing in the morning. It's gonna be like a 6 a.m. because it starts really early for you. I know for you, Vince.
Yeah, it's at 7:40 for me.
Yeah. So
I'll be up and wide awake and ready. So
yes. So these rosters are like going to be set at like 3 a.m. or something like that. Like ridiculous. Like when they get set, we'll be all sleeping when they set these rosters.
Well, because it's over in Italy, so it's like over there.
I like on my species. I'm the furthest away from all you. It says that the Olympics start at 6 a.m. for me. That's when it starts for me. 6 a.m. my time.
There you go.
So that tells you it's like 2 a.m. for you, Vince.
So now let me ask you, right? Okay, so we got Canada, Finland, right?
Yeah.
On one side of it.
And now I'm going into the U.S. one now, yes.
Okay, so I want to ask you a question because like you are the hockey guy. So now looking at this game, the United States team is stacked, right?
Yep.
What does Slovakia need to do to try and steal this game from the U.S.? The U.S.
can be a stolen game because Slovakia has done this to Canada. So if they can do it to Canada, especially the last few years, Slovakia will be able to do the exact same thing. Now, I'm not saying in this way like U.S. they really got pushed into this one because like Sweden was not that tough. Like I felt if like Sweden played somebody else, they would have played better going into this game, but because they kind of just walked into it, they didn't really give Sweden didn't really give U.S. the chance they thought they would give them. Like Finland's would give U.S. a lot better chance than Sweden would at this moment.
And Sweden beat Slovakia.
Yeah.
This is actually kind of weird. The last time the US lost, the last time the US men's team lost was February 15th, 2022 Olympics.
Yeah.
To Slovakia.
Yeah. Because this Slovakia team, it plays a whole different game. I mean, you got that Montreal kid. I'm just not going to say his last name because I can't pronounce it. But you probably knew who I'm talking about. This young, it's like Yuri, I think his first name is. Anyways, he's got like 10 or 11 goals in 10 or 11 games. This kid is on fire. He loves playing for his country. And he's almost like an Ovechkin. He sits there in his office, and you get him the puck, and he's firing this in. Like Connor Hellebuyck's not going to be able to time this perfectly because this kid is 100% accurate. Like this guy plays for his country, like Crosby plays for Canada. This kid's heart's right in it, and he's pumped, and he comes to score every game. So like he's going to be a deep threat.
They have so. And like I was completely listening to you. I wasn't like I wasn't looking up. So what I was doing is I was looking at BetMGM.
Yeah.
The US is minus 900. Okay. The puck line for them, the spread for them is minus 2.5 goals. That's crazy. I don't know. I feel like this is interesting. It's kind of a weird one. This is another game like they just expect the U.S. to win, and like I understand, but I also can see a complete world where the upset happens too.
Yeah. So his name is Yurogov Slavoski of Montreal. But when I look at the Slovakia team, there's not a lot of deep NHL players though. like deep threat NHL players. These are all like mid-level players. But this is where I mean like Slovakia can take the advantage. US is going to come in fast and strong and whatnot, and Slovakia, they're all mid-level players, but I think they all have like the similar playing style. You don't have like the one thing I always criticize with the US is it's not about you're the best players, it's always about who's the biggest star, and that's what the US kind of throws their team together. They're also in the top three of their perspective, like left wing, right wing, centers, whatever. But these guys aren't. That's what these guys are. These are all the mega stars of the United States. They're not the best. I don't think they're the best US team.
Okay, Brian, you are US hockey. So now I'm going to turn this over to you.
All right.
Now, what do you think, right? So Cove just made a very specific statement about the construction of the U.S. hockey team. Would you agree with him? Is it just a compilation of NHL stars, or do you think it's the best player that we have available at each position?
No, I agree with Cove. I think they just kind of took the best players. I mean, it's pretty much the same team that they had in the Four Nations, and their GM kind of just said he was going to go with that same team because he liked the chemistry that they had. But I mean, there's some players like Jason Robertson and Dallas who's having a monster year that. I mean, if they went from scratch, he should be on the team, and a lot of people thought he should have made the team. You know,
So they didn't
how
even
about
open it up.
how about with him being injured? I don't, missing part of the season. I don't know if he would have been on the team. They might have gone and find someone else to take his spot, or gone with Ottinger over Hellebuck.
I thought so interesting. I thought, and actually, so you cited the exact reason too. I thought that Ottinger was going to be the starting goalie for the tournament, and then it started, and it was Hellebuck, and I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it just,
that's
I thought
what I
the
was
same
telling
thing.
you before when we were talking about this last week. It was like Hellebuck's got that back injury. He's not completely over it. I'll give you another guy. Anthony Stolarz got the same problem. He's got a back injury. He doesn't talk about it, but he gets knocked out all the time. That's why you see 60+ win Hellebuck to 15 win Hellebuck. He doesn't got the same movement that you're paying for. So yes, Ottinger should have slid in there, but for some reason they went with Hellebuck
And
because
so
of
you
him.
were kind of like, so more or less, Brian is kind of validating your point of view, right?
Yeah.
Right. So they already had this group of stars, literally all stars, put together from, and that's a popular vote, literally, right? Because half of those people are voted on by the fans.
Yeah.
It was literally a popularity vote at a certain level. And that team had a decent chemistry. So he just said, you know what? We're just going to go with what we know. We're not even going to look to upgrade any positions, even though there were viable upgrades at some of these positions. Okay. All right. That's new. Like, so I had no idea. I'm one of these, I'm mentally, I'm idealist, and I'm like, oh, they must take the best person at every position because, it gives us the best chance to win.
No, but I mean that's kind of like why I was arguing with it. Like when you really look at this roster and you really look at people from those countries and the years that they're having, it's same thing with Canada. It's like we're gonna go with the past experience of how he played the past one. It's like, but not every team is built the exact same, and everybody knows playing sports. You can play one team once and lose, and play them again and maybe win because you'll know them better the next time. So this is what Canada's gonna thinks of when Canada thinks about US. They're looking at them going, "Well, we beat them in First Nation Cup, so we'll beat them now because we're pretty much the same team."
Would if Team Canada did the exact same thing as the US, Celebrini wouldn't be in the position he's in, would he?
No. He was the one exception. They have, I think the U.S. has one too, where they can bring somebody in that's a young kid that they're willing to bring up. But
who's been great for the U.S. Hughes.
Yes, like that was my first question about this one was coming off of Quinn Hughes' O-time heroics to send the U.S. past Sweden in the corners. Can the U.S. keep that clutch momentum and translate it into a semifinal clean win? I say clean win, not an OT win. I'm talking about winning in regulation.
What do you think, Showtime? Let's start on your side. Can the U.S. use their momentum to take out another W in the semis?
Hopefully. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, and a clean close win.
What do you think, Brian? For me, the hard part. What he said is quote a clean win, saying I think both games are going to go to overtime.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
It's the semifinals. I want that to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm also saying clean as no penalties.
Yeah. I think they can win. I don't think it'll be a clean win like with no penalties. I mean, the
with no
officiating.
penalty, yeah,
I
it's gonna be
mean,
dirty a bit.
What was that, Brian?
I was gonna say I don't think it'll be a clean win with no penalties. I mean, the IIHF rules are different. I mean, so they tend to call things a little bit more closely than the NHL does at times. You know, and there was a whole big controversy with Canada and the Czechs, where the Czechs scored to go up 3-2, and they had at least 6 players on the ice, maybe 7. So I mean,
how does like I don't understand how do no officials, how does nobody realize in the moment that there's more people on the ice? Like
the numbers went from 6 to 7 to 8. Like I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
But just anything.
And the fact that could have put Canada out is insane. Like
that's what I'm saying. If okay, regardless of whether the officials are paying attention, right? Obviously, if I'm Team Canada, if whatever team, I'm paying attention to the opposing team at all times, just making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing because I'm looking for an advantage. So I'm just surprised nobody caught this like in real time.
Oh yeah, I just don't know. I don't know if they just wanted to get viewership up or something like that, and they're like, let's just let it slide or something.
Imagine they would have lost.
Oh man, that would have been talked about for sure. Like no way.
I was gonna say I was surprised like no one on the Team Canada bench or anyone wasn't yelling too many men.
I don't think they have that option. I don't think they had the option at that time to be able to call it. I'm pretty sure as the world seen it, and I'm pretty sure everybody in the arena saw it, even the coaches, like they all saw it. It was just blinded. It was just happened so fast. It was such a bang, 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 play, plat that it was just like nobody just seemed to notice it, and they thought it was just all about celebration. You know, at this point, by the time they look over, they're like, "Oh shit, there's a ton of them," but plays over. It's like maybe they're switching off. Like it's like so it was a huge confusion. But I guarantee it that now that they did today's games with women, and now they're going to officiate tomorrow's games, they're going to make sure. Like the IOC is probably like, yeah, we got to keep our eyes on this because now it could get up again where U.S. or Canada, this could happen to them again. Like this could be Slovakia doing this. This could be Finland doing this, and then you get Canada U.S. bronze game instead of a Canada U.S. gold game. So,
my daughter is like 2 feet over this way. There she is. Come here, girl.
Yeah.
So, how will the goaltending matchup shape this game, especially after Hellebuyck stood up against Sweden?
Where do you start? What do you think, Brian?
I still think the U.S. probably has the advantage in goal. Who's the goalie for Slovakia?
Nobody is a kid from Minnesota, and A guy from Iowa.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Y-
it says
y-
goalies are from Iowa, Mountain Field, and University of Minnesota Duluth. That is who's playing goals
Yeah,
for Slovakia. These are all kids.
yeah. I mean,
So this is what I was talking about, Vince, last time. Where we were like, "Oh, we arguing about these rosters." See, Canada, U.S., Russia, Finland, Sweden. These teams are rock. They are 99% NHL players. But yeah, teams like Slovakia, which I mean, they've gotten this far. If they put down the U.S., it prove my point wrong. But what I'm saying is like, you got Hellebuck against a kid that's just barely in college. Like that's the disadvantage I find with having an NHL roster team.
Okay, and like obviously, certain situations there's going to be undoubtedly a competitive disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
But
And they only have 8 or 9 guys that on that roster play NHL.
listen, man, sounds like 8 or 9 guys more than Italy had.
Yeah.
the yeah. I was surprised Italy held their own against Sweden and Slovakia like they did.
Dude, I don't know how they could have prepared better. They only had X amount of years, but like you knew you were going to be hosting this, and like this was your team you put out. Like seriously,
Yeah.
awful.
Where is
Pretty
it? Yeah. Where is the next one? Where is the next Olympics? Like the next winner?
I don't think it's been mentioned yet, but I'm not 100% positive on that.
Because the next one is it's France. I just looked at it, 2030. 2028 is LA. Yeah, it's in the US. But
U.S. and Mexico.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
But 2030 it's gonna be in France. Fourth time they've been there.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm gonna get to go to some Olympic boxing in 2028, which is gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Got some time for them, but
So I mean some of us are ancient, some of us.
it's okay.
But hey, we can all practice in 4 years. We can try out for France and play for the France team.
Well, but like I guess, and this is my
They'll
point,
need
right?
players. France will need players in 4 years.
My daughter is just turning my light on and off right now. She's messing with daddy. It's messing with Daddy O'Clock. But like, right? You would think Italy had X amount of years, but like maybe they were just like, well, whatever. We can be bad at that because like we're awesome at alpine skiing.
Oh, I mean Italy's got a ton of medals this year. Like they surpassed their total, so they're happy.
Oh, yeah, they do well. They just do well on different aspects.
Yeah, different aspects. It's the same thing as having Russia back in there because Russia dominates like the figure skating, for example, and a lot of the speed skating, some of that, and skill shooting and stuff like this. So like not having Russia takes out a lot of the biggest competition for a lot of these athletes.
Yes.
But me and Vince were talking about that before. The ROC did have a chance. They had until like December for anybody from Russia or Belarus who wanted to compete as the ROC, and apparently nobody, not a single athlete, was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go." And I think last time they did this, they had the full Russian team, but outside of it, they only had like 16 athletes or something like that. It was something ridiculously small. I think Russia's spending more money on their war more than they're going to spend on their athletes right now. So we're not going to send you to Italy.
My little badass daughter is over here being quite loud. So sorry, my mic has been muted. But I'm listening.
Okay. So now I'll bring this one up since this is the first time I've ever experienced it. But how do you guys feel about Tom Wilson being thrown out of the entire tournament for having a fight?
I'm not a big fan of it, but I know the IIHF and for that they like frown on fighting, so I'm not surprised that they just start banning people for fighting.
I mean, what are they going to do? What happens if this bad blood from uh the the four Nations Cup rolls into the Olympics and the Kachuk starts something?
Uh,
I don't think
Hopefully
anybody will do that
doesn't
for
happen.
class wise, but
Hopefully it doesn't happen. Like
Yeah.
here's what we don't need, and let me just speak as an American guy who watches hockey. Whether he scores or not, we need Brady Kachuk on the ice. Period. End of discussion.
Yeah.
You know, he's a battery for that team. You know, he gets everybody charged up. Him getting thrown out of a game because of being extra and getting into a scrap would not be. We're in the semis now. Like, we don't need that. They know what the rules are. They know what they're
I'm
doing.
talking about
Definitely not.
Canada, the gold medal game, and they're like, you know what? It's the third period. Let's go for it. Like, what are they going to do? Cancel the game?
Well,
What are they going to
what
do?
you do at that point? It doesn't matter. They get a penalty. They get thrown out of the game. As long as like no one, right? Ultimately, as an American, nobody as an American is going to give a crap what the American guy does if America wins. Right?
Yeah.
Conversely,
Mhm.
as long as Canada wins, you do not care if McDavid punches 6 people in the mouth in the gold medal game.
Yeah.
As long as you win, right? But if
Yeah.
you lose, then you're like, then you're gonna be like, damn it, if he didn't do that, he wouldn't have got thrown out. And and then so it just it's all based on whether or not you win or lose at the end of it.
I'm just saying, with Tom Wilson breaking the rules of let's go fight, and he knew the results, like, does this stop future guys from going, you know what? Fuck it. This is the momentum we need. I'm the enforcer. I'm going to pull some shit. I mean, it would make the Olympics amazing because it's never been done.
Mhm.
I'm not saying I'm not condoning it in any which way. I mean, we actually have up here in Canada, we have the one league that actually doesn't condone fighting. And actually, both of our leagues, the PWHL does not condone fighting, and also the QMJHL does not condone fighting. It was banned like 4 years ago.
Wait, you mean to tell me in Canada
Yeah.
you can't fight in hockey?
Yep. They have now, like, in the professional leagues, the OHL still, WHL and the OHL still can fight. But the QMHL started it by saying no fighting. And it's been a thing for the last 4 years. And now you see the PWHL doing it. It's the IIHF, rules. It's what they
If I
adapted
was you
to.
guys, I wouldn't tell other people that out loud. What do you mean?
So it's going to change. That's going to change something because if any of you guys in your teams that have guys that played in the QMAJHL the last few years before they came to your squad, they pretty much have been conditioned not to fight. You're not going to get an enforcer anymore. That's kind of what's taking away.
Okay.
You're going to get more skill, then you're going to get more enforcer.
Well, and that's why we have American hockey where we build enforcers.
Yeah, and then your AHL's got your AHL and but the WHL and the OHL are still going to do it. So it's not it's just the Quebec league. So it is what it is. But I mean,
So
I
real
mean,
quick,
hey, Cove, what would they fight in the Quebec league? Because I know like generally like they were more known for having players they were more talented all offensively and everything.
mhm. Yeah, it's changing games differently. So a lot of guys coming out of the queue, yeah, these guys are scoring more. They got higher points. They look better on the paper because they're spending less time, as they say, with the bullshit of fighting. They're not focused on that. And I mean, It just depends on what level you look at. Like sometimes you would say, yeah, fighting should not be there. Same thing as checking. It's same thing as the net guard being pushed now more to be more in the league. It's you're seeing a lot of changes in the league as we evolve this game.
Mm-hmm.
And fighting is something I get it for the entertainment value, but for a logical game, I've seen it played both ways, and it's equally as exciting.
So I guess it's just the only way I know hockey, right? I'm just used to seeing it that way.
Yeah.
Obviously, like Olympic hockey, we see every few years, but it's not like what I watch regularly. It doesn't need to have fighting for me, right? That's not like I do not tune in like hoping there's going to be a fight each night, right? But I'm not one of the people who's like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. That's not sport. Like, I love it, you know, a little aggressiveness, nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
So real quick, who do you think is going to score the what do they call it, the golden goal for Canada if they win tomorrow morning?
I'm gonna go with Celebrini.
That's actually a really good choice. I like that.
He more opens up the goal scoring for Canada, but I think it's about time that Celebrini gets that game winning goal.
I'm gonna be honest. Celebrini's gonna open it up for my man Stone. Stone's just gonna keep hammering away like he's been doing this whole year, you know, in the NHL and for Team Canada. Guy's been great this year.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think, Brian?
I'm gonna say Cal McCarr. It seems like
Okay.
the defensemen are seem to be scoring a bit more in these games. I mean, quick when Hughes had the game-winning goal for the U.S., you know, Cal McCarr is probably is better than him. So I'll take McCarr for Canada.
I like that choice. What do you guys think? Showtime? Showtime's like
It
who
could be
plays for
anything.
Team
It could be
Canada?
anyone, honestly. I don't know.
I think the most obvious choice is always McDavid, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but it's like Olympic hockey isn't predictable, so
It's
Yeah.
it's different.
you would think McDavid, but then it's not gonna end up being McDavid.
Yeah. No, McDavid's gonna wait until gold medal game to pull something stupid.
Right?
out.
You would think he would do something in the gold medal game. Exactly.
What do you think, Caleb?
Let me look at the roster. I think it's gonna be Marchand.
Martian, that's
Marchand.
okay.
Oh, Brian Marchand.
Yeah,
Marchand. Yeah, Marchand. Yeah.
Yeah, Brian Marchand.
he's had a lot of big moments in the playoffs.
I didn't even realize he was on the team.
I didn't either.
Yeah, because he hasn't licked anybody, so he hasn't paid, no one's paying attention to him.
And
He hasn't sexually assaulted someone in a long time.
but okay. TMI.
What?
His nickname is Rat, right?
Yeah, I know, but still. Have you seen the footage of him licking a guy? He's in there intimately. He's not in there being a dick.
But you know what?
Same
That's
here,
actually a
actually.
good choice. Like, okay. So last year we were watching we were getting ready for the NHL finals, and we talked about this, and we were talking with like Cashews and Vegas Hockey Freak, and I was like, and so I picked him last year during playoff hockey as that guy because I was just like, you know what? He's going to come through for the Panthers. He's going to be a difference maker. And then like that next game, he came out and like,
Spot on.
yeah, it was just a bat out of hell. So he could definitely be that dude, no question. All right, now let's assume, right, the stars are going to line up, and that means that Team USA is also going to win tomorrow. Who, Brian, is going to be the person for Team USA to put us over?
I'm gonna take Brady Kachuk because I think so, outside of maybe the first second game, like he hasn't been doing a whole lot. I haven't seen his name on the score sheet a lot. I think the Kachuk brothers are going to come through, and I think Brady's going to get the golden goal for the U.S.
I'm completely on board with this. That's actually exactly who my pick was. Cove, what do you think?
Oh, I know I'm gonna get a heads turn on this one. But if it's gonna be a game winner, and he needs to do it, this is the only reason why I got this guy is Austin Matthews. He needs this win. He needs this goal.
Very good pick.
I like him. Let me say. Okay, hold on. Let me rewind. In the NHL, I've not been a fan of Austin Matthews. Don't like his team. Don't like him. Whatever. But like, I didn't have any reason to not like him per se. But watching him for Team USA, I actually like. I do like him a lot more. That would be an awesome one. It would make me happy to see him be the person to score that goal. So that would be a good choice. Showtime, what do you think? Who could do it for you?
I'll
Team
take
USA?
Matt. I'll take Brady's brother, or I'll take
Matt.
I'll
Yeah,
take Matt.
Matt's a good choice.
I'm not a homer, no.
Listen, man, nothing wrong with that. All right, Caleb, who you got?
I got the guy who got the last goal from the last game, Hughes.
Quinn Hughes. I like
Yeah,
that choice.
Quinn Hughes.
So he's gonna keep it with defense. Like it's a good choice though. He's that kind of guy in the NHL too. He's a real low key difference maker, which is exactly the reason why he's on Team USA. So good choice there as well.
I get the one quick to ask you, since it's not really a troll in US, but how the hell did Jeremy Swayman get scored on half court by Denmark?
I don't. That's a great question.
Like, I heard that it was like Swayman Denmark's only goal against fucking Swayman was one from the half court.
It's like Swayman. Like I don't.
It seemed like he didn't pick the puck up or anything.
Yeah. I mean, they had a dominating win, but it was just like, what the hell? Like, it's one goal. Like,
yeah, I mean,
just a quick update. Actually, just because you said the word troll, and I know you love to troll me. You got a Detroit fan on here, and Brian. My New York Knicks are getting dusted off right now by the Pistons. There's about a minute left. We're down by at least 10 points, and I do not expect us to make up that 10 points in the next minute.
It's over, done.
Why are the Pistons so much better than the Knicks? How did this happen?
Man.
Because they're not the Knicks.
We just played in the playoffs and we beat them. They are so much like it's not even like close. Like every game they beat us by double digits. Like they kick our asses.
Yeah, but but we were talking about a Knicks team from last year to a Piston team from last year. This Piston team is different.
Yeah,
you know who's not? This Knicks team.
This Knicks team is the same Knicks team it's always been. You just want Boston so you can get thrown out again.
I just I don't know, and obviously we can get back to basketball next week and and we can definitely touch on a lot more of this stuff. But the whole point, right? Since we lost in the Eastern Conference Final, right? That means that the next coach has to be ready to take you to the finals.
Yeah.
Okay. What as a Knicks fan, what have I watched that is leading me to believe that my team is going to the finals? Nothing. Zero.
Get the floor, bro.
Right now, I think the finals is going to be the Detroit Pistons against the San Antonio Spurs. And that would actually be awesome.
I would agree.
Oh, my God.
Just don't let his Nick Love rub on Team USA tomorrow because they might choke. So.
My God.
Listen. You know what? On that note, it's time for me. Vinny's Corner is over. We're out of here. All right, guys. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Brian, Caleb, Showtime, thanks for popping up with us. Cove, hopefully Canada makes it because Team USA, we're going to the finals.
Yeah.
We'll see you there. Everybody, have a wonderful evening. And if you check my YouTube, I did put my latest fight prediction up there for the Mario Barrios Ryan Garcia fight this weekend.
Mhm.
And you can also check my blog at vinny'scorner.blog and got some articles there for it. But we'll have some boxing stuff coming out later this week. Enjoy the hockey. Enjoy the week, guys. Thanks for coming out. Take care.
Thanks, Vin. Good night, everyone.